At 14:30 hours local time in the southern sector of Zaporizhzhia, a massive Russian logistics convoy was grinding its way forward under heavy escort. The commanding officer in the lead vehicle felt confident because he had a multi-million-dollar mobile air defense umbrella covering his entire column, keeping the sky perfectly clear. What he did not know was that a pair of Ukrainian reconnaissance drones, practically invisible against the gray cloud cover, had been tracking their movement for the past 2 hours, waiting for a very specific geographical window to open. The Ukrainian operators were not looking for a quick kill, because destroying one truck on a wide highway would simply cause the rest of the column to scatter and escape. They were looking for an absolute massacre that would eventually trigger a catastrophic chain reaction exactly 100 kilometers away. The drone camera zoomed in on a heavy transport carrying artillery shells, but the operator held their fire, letting the lead elements roll safely past a crucial junction. This was the first fast win of the afternoon for the ambush team, securing the enemy's false sense of security while perfectly aligning the chess pieces. They needed the convoy to drive into a trap where turning around would be a physical impossibility, and that exact moment was arriving in less than 60 seconds. The convoy heavy transport trucks and armored escorts began turning onto a narrow dirt road flanked on both sides by deep, churned mud and soft agricultural fields that had swallowed tanks whole earlier in the season. The spacing between the vehicles began to compress as the drivers slowed down to navigate the treacherous terrain, closing the gap from 50 meters to less than 15 meters. High above, the drone operator saw the exact configuration they had spent the entire morning waiting for and issued the attack command to the loitering munitions hovering just over the tree line. An explosive-laden first-person view drone, traveling at 150 kilometers per hour, dropped out of the sky and screamed toward the column, entirely ignoring the heavily armored lead vehicle. Instead, the drone operator slammed the fiberglass munition directly into the engine block of the third transport truck in the line, instantly detonating its shaped charge. The massive truck erupted into a fireball, slewing sideways and completely blocking the narrow passage for everyone behind it. The lead vehicles were suddenly cut off from their primary support, and the rear of the convoy slammed their brakes to avoid crashing into the burning wreckage. In exactly 3 seconds, a sprawling logistics train was instantly transformed into a static, terrified target completely trapped by soft mud on their left and right. The mathematical reality of what had just happened was absolutely brutal for the Russian Logistics Command, perfectly demonstrating the ruthless asymmetry of modern drone warfare. The Ukrainian operators had just used a makeshift quadcopter constructed from commercial parts that cost roughly $500 to permanently paralyze a convoy carrying millions of dollars in essential supplies and heavy armor. To make matters worse for the trapped soldiers, the air defense systems embedded within the column, specifically the highly advanced Tor-M2 and Pantsir-S1 platforms, were built to shoot down fighter jets and cruise missiles, not plastic toys buzzing just above the tree line. These radar systems operated by pumping out massive waves of energy meant to bounce off large metallic objects flying at high altitudes, making a small drone skimming the treetops look like nothing more than random ground clutter or a passing bird. The convoy commander began frantically ordering his air defense operators to clear the sky, completely unaware that traditional radar logic was completely useless in this specific scenario. The multi-million-dollar defense shield was effectively blind to the immediate threat, leaving the trapped transport trucks completely exposed to whatever the drone teams decided to send next. With the road firmly blocked by the burning wreckage of the third vehicle, pure panic rippled backward through the remaining 20 trucks of the convoy, as drivers desperately tried to reverse their heavy machines out of the kill zone. The operator inside the Pantsir-S1 air defense vehicle finally managed to acquire a visual lock on a second incoming drone through his optical sensors and desperately engaged the automatic cannons. A massive stream of 30mm tracer rounds tore through the sky, successfully shredding the incoming fiberglass drone into a cloud of useless confetti just 100 meters from the convoy. For a brief second, a cheer went up over the Russian radio network, but that momentary victory was exactly what the Ukrainian drone swarm commander had been anticipating all along. The Pantsir system was incredibly lethal when it found a target, but its optical tracking system was highly directional, meaning the operator was looking through a narrow straw and completely ignoring the rest of the battlefield. By baiting the air defense system into engaging a single, highly visible decoy drone, The attackers had successfully forced the operator to look in the wrong direction while also forcing the cannons into a brief cooldown phase. In the 40 to 60 seconds it took for the Pantsir radar to reset its scanning cycle and the operator to manually sweep the sky for secondary targets, 3 more first-person view drones silently dropped over the tree line behind them. The drone pilots knew that a multi-million-dollar air defense system is totally useless if the human brain operating it becomes overwhelmed by too many simultaneous threats arriving from multiple vectors. The lead drone bypassed the armored turret entirely and slammed directly into the unprotected radar array on top of the air defense vehicle, instantly blinding the machine and transforming it into an incredibly expensive metal box. The moment the radar dish shattered, the remaining 2 drones aggressively pivoted toward the rear of the convoy, where the panicked drivers were still attempting to back their massive transport trucks out of the narrow dirt corridor. This rapid succession of strikes completely destroyed the centralized command and control of the column, leaving each truck driver fighting an individual battle for survival without any coordinated defense or overhead protection. The hunters had effectively blinded the guard dog, and now they had all the time in the world to systematically dismantle the rest of the trapped column piece by bloody piece. With the air defense network completely shattered and the front of the column blocked by burning steel, the drivers at the absolute rear of the convoy finally saw their chance to escape the slaughter. The heavy transport trucks slammed their transmissions into reverse, their massive diesel engines roaring as they attempted to back out of the narrow dirt corridor and reach the safety of the main highway just 2 kilometers behind them. For a fleeting moment, the rear guard commander genuinely believed they had successfully maneuvered out of the kill zone, watching the tree line recede as his driver pushed the heavy machine backward. This rapid retreat seemed like a tactical victory, but it was actually the exact psychological reaction the Ukrainian ambush team had meticulously planned for over 3 hours earlier. As the rear vehicle rolled backward toward a seemingly empty stretch of dirt road, a small, unremarkable patch of grass suddenly exploded into motion with the terrifying whine of electric rotors. The trap had never been about just blocking the front of the convoy. It was always designed to seal the back door the exact moment the enemy felt a false surge of hope. What the retreating drivers failed to realize was that an entirely different class of first-person view drone had been waiting for them long before the convoy ever turned onto the dirt road. This specific drone was not circling in the sky burning precious battery life, but had instead been flown to the intersection an hour earlier and intentionally landed in the tall grass. The operator had powered down the flight motors while leaving the video receiver active, effectively turning a highly mobile aerial weapon into a highly lethal, remote-controlled landmine waiting patiently for a target to approach. As the rear transport truck backed directly into the ambush zone, the operator simply throttled up the dormant motors, sending the fiberglass frame rocketing upward from the ground and directly into the unarmored rear doors of the vehicle. The resulting detonation instantly destroyed the drive shaft and locked the rear truck firmly in place, transforming it into an immovable steel barricade. The convoy was now completely sealed at both the front and the rear, trapping over a dozen highly explosive logistical vehicles in a narrow chute where maneuverability dropped to exactly 0. Trapped in the center of the column with nowhere to drive, panic rapidly overtook military discipline as the remaining truck drivers realized they were sitting on top of thousands of artillery shells. Several desperate drivers attempted to steer their heavy transports off the dirt road and directly into the agricultural fields to bypass the burning wreckage blocking their path. For exactly 10 seconds, one heavy transport actually managed to push through the ditch, giving the rest of the column a sudden glimmer of hope that a bypass route could be forged through the farmland. That hope vanished instantly as the soft, unseasonably wet soil grabbed the massive tires, sinking the 20-ton vehicle straight down to its axles and snapping its suspension under the immense torque. The Ukrainian drone operators immediately capitalized on this catastrophic error, sending a fresh, loitering munition diving straight into the exposed fuel tanks of the stuck transport. A massive explosion sent a shockwave of blazing diesel across the field, effectively building a solid wall of fire that eliminated the only theoretical escape route and carved the remaining convoy into isolated, terrified pockets of survivors. The Russian column commander, completely isolated in his command vehicle, desperately grabbed his encrypted radio handset to call for an emergency extraction from an armored quick reaction force stationed 30 kilometers away. He needed immediate attack helicopters to suppress the tree line. But modern warfare operates on a cycle of processing speed that entirely favors the decentralized attacker. Commander had to observe the disaster, formulate a coherent report, authenticate his radio connection, and relay exact coordinates to a headquarters that then had to scramble an entirely different unit. This traditional military decision cycle takes roughly 5 to 8 minutes to execute, assuming the electronic warfare environment allows the transmission to connect at all. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian drone operators hovering above were operating on a decision cycle of less than 15 seconds, seamlessly picking targets, adjusting vectors, and executing strikes through a direct, unfiltered video feed. By the time the Russian commander finally established a clear radio link to his higher headquarters, 3 more ammunition transports had already been systematically vaporized, rendering any potential rescue mission mathematically pointless before the helicopters could even start their engines. As the dirt road transformed into an unsalvageable corridor of burning metal, the Ukrainian swarm commander, sitting in a reinforced basement miles away, began shifting his attention to a much larger strategic picture. Total destruction of this specific convoy was incredibly satisfying on a tactical level. But the true value of the ambush lay in what those destroyed transport trucks were supposed to be delivering that afternoon. The convoy was carrying over 2,000 heavy artillery shells specifically earmarked for a coastal defense battery positioned overlooking a critical maritime supply route exactly 100 kilometers to the south. By completely annihilating the logistics train in the mud of Zaporizhzhia, the drone operators were not just killing trucks. They were intentionally starving that distant coastal battery of the exact ammunition it desperately needed to repel a naval assault. The localized panic on the dirt road was merely the opening act of a massive synchronized operation designed to pull Russian attention inland, while a completely different, infinitely more devastating threat was quietly slipping through the waters of the Black Sea. Exactly 100 kilometers south of the burning dirt road, the commander of a Russian coastal defense battery stared at his digital logistics interface with mounting dread. His massive 130mm shore guns were designed to completely lock down the local maritime corridor, creating an impenetrable dome of artillery fire against any naval incursions. However, those massive cannons were currently sitting completely empty, entirely dependent on the 2,000 heavy artillery shells that were currently cooking off inside a mud-soaked trench in Zaporizhzhia. The battery commander assumed he still had time to request an emergency resupply from a secondary depot, believing that the Black Sea was relatively quiet that afternoon. That fleeting assumption was instantly shattered when his maritime search radar painted 3 fast-moving anomalies approaching his defensive sector from the open ocean. By successfully starving the coastal guns of their necessary ammunition hours earlier, the Ukrainian planners had effectively removed the only heavy weapons capable of destroying an incoming naval threat before it reached the shoreline. The operators sitting in a distant basement had flawlessly executed a massive game of distraction, sacrificing inexpensive aerial drones inland to open an invisible, undefended corridor directly into the heart of a highly strategic maritime support facility. The 3 fast-moving anomalies skipping across the radar screen were not conventional torpedoes or manned attack boats, but highly advanced unmanned surface vessels loaded with massive explosive payloads. Costing approximately $250,000 each to construct from commercial jet ski engines and molded stealth carbon fiber, these sea drones represented the exact same asymmetrical nightmare that had just destroyed the logistics convoy. They featured an incredibly low physical profile, sitting practically flush with the surface of the water, which made them nearly invisible to traditional maritime radar systems designed to look for the massive steel hulls of destroyers and frigates. A solitary Russian patrol boat stationed 3 kilometers off the coast managed to spot the incoming white water wakes through a thermal camera and desperately accelerated to intercept the lead drone. The patrol boat crew opened fire with their deck-mounted heavy machine guns, sending a wall of lead splashing into the cold water in a frantic attempt to create a defensive barrier. The lead sea drone simply executed a hard, autonomous, evasive maneuver, violently banking to the left at exactly 80 kilometers per hour, and completely bypassing the interceptor vessel without slowing down for a single second. Back on the shoreline, pure panic consumed the coastal battery crew as they watched the sea drones easily bypass their outer maritime security perimeter and vector directly toward their docking facilities. The gunners physically ran to their massive artillery pieces out of pure instinct, only to be brutally reminded that the breaches were completely empty thanks to the drone ambush that had paralyzed their supply lines earlier that morning. Forced to abandon their primary weapons, the desperate soldiers unlimbered small arms and tripod-mounted heavy machine guns, attempting to manually track a target the size of a canoe moving at highway speeds through choppy water. The drone operators, watching the tracer fire skip across the water through their low-light optical sensors, pushed their throttles to maximum capacity for the final terminal approach. They understood that the human brain cannot accurately calculate the necessary lead distance to strike a small, erratically moving surface target traveling at over 40 knots while under extreme psychological duress. Every missed shot from the shoreline only confirmed the complete brilliance of the operational design, proving that even a heavily fortified coastal base is entirely helpless when its primary defensive systems are systematically starved of ammunition. The final payoff of the entire synchronized operation arrived exactly 35 seconds later when the lead surface vessel breached the inner harbor defenses without taking a single critical hit. The operator completely ignored the panicked soldiers firing from the concrete piers and slammed the drone directly into the waterline of a docked landing ship carrying millions of dollars in military equipment. The 300-kilogram explosive warhead detonated instantly, tearing a massive hole through the reinforced steel hull and sending a violent shockwave across the entire naval facility. Moments later, the second and third sea drones impacted the adjacent fueling infrastructure, triggering a cascading chain reaction of blazing hydrocarbons that effectively mirrored the apocalyptic scene playing out 100 kilometers inland. The Russian military had lost a critical logistics column, a multi-million-dollar air defense system, and a strategic naval vessel in a single afternoon, completely dismantled by cheap fiberglass drones and coordinated timing. Flawless execution demonstrated a terrifying new paradigm in modern warfare, proving definitively that survival is no longer guaranteed by heavy armor, but by maintaining an absolute advantage in processing speed and situational unpredictability.